Hello, my name is Kirioth, and today we are going to have a chat about a few models going easy to build on the Games Workshop. No, not easy to build. The models are easy to build, but they're going last chance to buy. It would be great if I could string a sentence together, seeing as I do these videos all the time, but apparently that's not a thing that is happening. Anyway, so, the following models are going easy to build. The following models are going last chance to buy. They're going last chance to buy. They are easy to build models, but they're going last chance to buy. I hate this. What is wrong with me? Stop. Okay, so, Christ. What we have are I'm just not going to say it over and over again. I can't say easy to build every time. I will lose my actual mind. We are losing the ETB, Intercessors, Redemptor Dreadnought, Aggressors, the Reavers, Lord Felthius and Tainted Cohort, which, that is not confusing at all, that. What does that mean? Genuine question. They've gone last chance to buy. Oh my god. But they're also temporarily out of stock online. So does that mean they're going to go back into stock and then still be last chance to buy until the last of them? How can they be out of stock and last chance to buy at the same time? Surely if they're out of stock, you've missed it because there aren't going to be any more because it's the last chance to buy them. Anyway, and there's also the Death Guard Plague Marines. So just this set of three. So as you can see, it looks like the old generation, the previous generation, is of ETB figures is on the way out, which is genuinely a shame because there's a bit of use for quite a few of these. For a start, I know so many people who use like the pack of 3 Reavers or Intercessors as like test models for paint schemes. They maybe only buy 1 or 2 packs of them, but then they go to town on testing different paint schemes on them, and quite a nice little resource for that. And of course, you can use them to expand your army if you really wanted to. I guess that is another way you could use them. It's probably the more used way of doing it, but still, the thing I'm upset about, funnily enough, you'll be shocked to learn, is the Redemptor. Although I do have a question regarding Lord Felthius, because if I'm not mistaken, with Dark Imperium disappearing, there is no model for the Lord of Contagion outside of the Dark Imperium box, and Lord Felthius you can kind of use as a Lord of Contagion, like as a base model, whether you want to convert it or just, have him. So what do you do now? I'm assuming there's been a couple of rumour engines with Nurgly stuff. I'm assuming that's a replacement model for those, because otherwise that's an HQ choice that you can't currently take, which is not ideal, let's be honest. Then again, I suppose the same could be said of the Captain in Gravis armour, which I don't think there's currently a version of that either, so fun times, or not, really. Anyway, I'm mostly upset about the Redemptor, which you'll be shocked to learn, I know, but I have a distinct reason for this. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, Kiri, but the reason you're upset is because you're an idiot and you've got 8 Redemptor Dreadnoughts currently, and I have 2 more on the way. What is wrong with me? Anyway, I'm actually not that upset about it in some respects. It's not like, oh, I wanted to buy even more of them, because no, generally speaking, I do the full fat Redemptor. I don't use the easy to build ones. Out of the 8 I currently own, 3 of them are easy build. They're also the 3 kind of simplest in terms of how I've done kind of conversions and kit bashing. The thing is, I think they're a genuinely good resource. I think they're a genuinely good model, a genuinely good version of that Dreadnought, because they're not just cheaper, they are more efficient all round. So let's just take a quick look. Now, there are downsides. I mean, the main upside is that is £25 and that is £40. So there are downsides. You are missing the launcher on top of the carapace, which is not really a problem necessarily. I've not seen anyone complain about the fact that some of mine don't have that. Some of the other downsides is there's a lack of detail in places. So if you look at the fist, it's blank and smooth. There's not really any detail there. Hang on, where's it? There it is. So if that one has got just more detail. Obviously, there's more detail. Of course, you've got more weapons options for the full fat one. For the easy build, it's things like the armour over the sarcophagus at the front. So you've got like a little hinge mechanism there, but it's not really attached to anything, and it doesn't look like the front of the the front of the armour can fold down, whereas on that one, it really does look like it can fold down. Things like the armour over the shoulders, it's multi-layered on the main, like the full fat Redemptor, which I think genuinely does make a bit of a difference to how it looks. The easy build one is just a bit squatter, it's a bit flatter, it's just lacking some of the detail that you get from the main kit, which is understandable, because this thing is in like 12 pieces, and that's it. You've got 3 sprues with 4 parts on each sprue, and even then, one of the parts is the end of the Onslaught Gatling Cannon. Do not lose that. I have lost that. It's very annoying. That is not bad. That is not bad because it's cheap, you don't have the options, but it takes no time to assemble. Now, having assembled 3 of these and 5 of these, I will tell you right now that it is... If you're just doing plain, bog standard assembly, no kit bashing, no converting, the easy build one is so much more enjoyable. Genuinely, because it's so quick. You just cut it off, do a little bit of filing, slap it together, you are good to go. I cannot overstate how good an option this is if you just want to grab a standard Redemptor and chuck it into your Primaris force. Not literally, that would be mental. Don't throw dreadnoughts into your infantry armies, you'll break everything. But if you just want a Redemptor to round out your force, I would absolutely recommend this one over the full fat one. Genuinely. It's just so much quicker to assemble. You save 15 quid. It's also been available through third-party retailers the entire time it's been around. So not even 15 quid cheaper than the standard one. You actually save way more if you go to a site like Element or Alchemist Workshops or something. So it's like a multiple efficiency thing. Takes way less time to put together, requires way less effort, requires way less faffing around, and it's way cheaper. It's pretty much just a winner, this model. Especially when you consider that the stupid Contemptor that Games Workshop sell, not the Forge World ones, no, the Games Workshop ones, are 35 quid and are basically the same as this. It's really good value, comparatively, obviously. Got to always throw that caveat in before someone brings up other hobbies. Stop. Anyway, this one is good. Don't get me wrong. You know I like these because I've got 5 of them, and as I say, there are more on the way. But they're not simple to put together, even having put a bunch of them together in both like kind of vanilla formats and with a bit of tweaking and with, sticking other weapons on and doing all sorts of stuff to him. It takes as much time to assemble 1 of these as it does to assemble 3 of these. In terms of a quick, cheap option to get a Dreadnought in your Primaris force, the easy build one is so good. It is such good value in so many different areas. I would also argue, by the way, a bit simpler to paint too. Just because of how there's fewer moving parts, there's less stuff to have to do sub-assembly if you wanted to do sub-assembly. It just makes it a bit more efficient to paint as well. I mean, when you look at the actual number of components on this thing, again, I'm not trash-talking the Redemptor because that would be dumb. I have a few of them. But there's a lot going on these sprues. There is a lot to file down. There is a lot to mess with. There is a lot to tidy. There is a lot to do. And this kind of thing is... It's great for how customizable it is. It's great for how posable it is. But there are just sections of this Dreadnought that even now I don't know why they are separate from other parts. I don't know why there are some pieces that you have to put in separately from others. Except it's a space-saving thing. It's not stuff that's posable. It's not stuff that's adaptable. It's just stuff that could have been moulded in, but wasn't, for whatever reason. It doesn't add any detail. Doesn't add anything particularly... mind-blowing. It's just separate because it's separate. That is something that this does not struggle with, obviously, because it's only got 12 components. When it comes to that particular model, there is a lot to be said for having something that is quick and accessible. And that is one of the things that I think the easy to build stuff excels at. They are still the same units, they're still the same models, they still have the right loadouts, mostly, but they are that much faster to get into. They provide a nice, easy avenue for people to try different builds, to try, like I say, different builds, to try different units, to try and round out their armies. It's a nice avenue into particular areas of forces, and losing that is genuinely disappointing. Now, we saw, I think it was the turret thing and the invader. I think they said both of those are going to be easy build. I would much prefer that something like this Redemptor stick around, because it is just a valuable resource to have if you're playing Primaris. It's something that I would recommend. If someone says, is it worth getting a Redemptor? And I get these questions pretty regularly, funnily enough. It's almost like people think I know about them or something. I don't know where they get that idea from. But if someone says, hey, I want to get a Redemptor, I just want, all I'm after is something with 2 Onslaught Gatling cannons, and that's it. I'm not going to do anything with it. I just want a Redemptor to round out the force. Every time, I would say, get the easy build one. If you want to snip the flamer off and stick something else on instead, maybe get like there's plenty of places that you can get bits from, like bitsbox.co.uk. That's one of the places I use a lot, where you can find things that would easily stand in for the secondary, smaller Onslaught cannon. I've recommended this easy build Redemptor, way more than I've recommended the full fat one, because it is just so much more efficient. It's less time to put together, it's less money spent, it's less effort spent. It's a bit easier to paint if you want to do sub-assembly stuff. It's just genuinely good to have around, and it disappearing is honestly really quite disappointing to me. I don't know if it'll show up in some sort of box. I don't think it will. I mean, maybe I start collecting for Primaris, possibly, but that seems a bit far-fetched. I don't know. It's just a bit gutting that it's going away, and I don't think something like the Invader ATV or the turret are really going to be something that takes its place in terms of how useful it is, to be totally honest with you. Well, that's the other thing. These things are going away. The last chance to buy means they are disappearing. The stuff that has been kind of touted to replace them, because we've already seen that there's a few easy build things on the way, in the form of that, like the Tech Marine turret that I always forget the name of. Is that as useful as something like an easy build Redemptor? I mean, you might think I'm just being biased with that, but I don't think it is. I don't think there's as much value in it, to be honest. I mean, we'll have to see. Maybe it'll be the thing you need to have a great army. Maybe it'll be super strong. Maybe it'll be like the backbone of a new build for Primaris forces. But on the surface of it, it's like, I don't know. I just don't see it being as valuable a resource as we currently have in the form of the big, chunky gut boy. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. But yeah. There's a few things, last chance to buy. That's the one that's sticking out to me as being the one that I'll miss the most. But if you want to grab those, I suggest you go and do it now before they disappear. There's already a few different regional stores I think are out of it. I know there's some left on the UK store, as we saw. But yeah, if you want any, you're going to have to get in quick, because they will disappear pretty rapid, I'm sure. Let me know which of those kits you are most annoyed about them getting rid of, which ones you think maybe could end up in a start collecting box, whether they would or not, or whether this is just the proper last chance to get them. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. In the meantime, feel free to click all the things, Patreon, video, subscribe, all that stuff. It'd be lovely if you did subscribe, but of course that is entirely up to you, as is using the affiliate link in the description to support the channel. It's a link to Element Games. You can use it if you like. You don't have to. It's entirely up to you. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.